It's Week 15 of the National Football League. And this one features the Saints' second-year quarterback. After his last game, he's now across 3,000 yards for the season. It's the Saints and the Jets, and it's coming up next on EA Sports.
We are down on the bayou as you get a look inside the Caesars Superdome here in New Orleans. Today on to Week 15 in the NFL, and we've got a good matchup in store as it'll be the New York Jets taking on the New Orleans Saints.
Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Saints team as they enter play. And they've lost 3 straight here, and it goes without saying, I guess, they could certainly use a win.
And how do they get a win? Because they've lost 3 straight, I think it's paramount that they get a fast, clean start to this game.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jets, they've been flawless all year long as they hit the home stretch at 13-0.
And now they just have to guard against complacency. You still got to go out and earn it every week.
Here's a punter, Thomas Morstead, to get this one started. And we are underway from the Superdome.
This taken in right around the goal line. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15.
And here come the Saints for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their second-year quarterback.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
Now a play fake here on first down. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. They'll go for a gain of 7, and that's... down.
This defense for the Jets, they were terrific last week in the victory over Buffalo.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down.
And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes.
Chuck Clark
just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
But just 2 plays in, and Charles already their first sack defensively.
Yeah, how about that? That didn't take long, did it? And now they look at 3rd down, and that's another time to try and go and get the quarterback, too.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Well, that's one way to convert on 3rd down, picking up 26 yards.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it.
Rifles one, that's going to be intercepted. Down the right sideline.
And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Jet touchdown.
Well, CD, these 2 teams barely off the buses, and this defense already has a sack and now the interception and the pick 6 to take the lead.
Partner, you'd have to think that this was part of their game plan coming in because they wanted to embrace an aggressive mindset and attack on defense. They were trying to force that quick miscue, and I would say that their plan worked to perfection.
Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. He's got it, and the Jets lead 7-0. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
Taken at the goal line. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive. As we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you. I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
You talk about this Jets defense.
It's quite a unit. Number 1 in the NFL against the pass.
And how about that last play? Did you see how quickly they got to the ball? Caused a loss of yardage? Yeah, that play shows exactly why their ranking is justified.
And now they're just hoping to see more of that. It's a gain of 4, and it gets them the first.
That's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a first down with his very next run.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
And that's a lesson learned from the previous drive. Last time he forced one, and it turned into a pick six. Here, he knows better, and he just throws that one away.
2nd and 10.
They'll look to throw.
Yeah, to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll set up a throw.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47.
Hand off to Spears.
Yeah, this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Pitch and catch to Moreau, the tight end. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
2nd and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Spears.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Right back to Spears.
And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal.
Spears diving for the end zone, and he is in. Touchdown.
Well, he's been the workhorse on this drive, and it would have been unfair to bring someone else in to finish the job. So they go back to him again, and he delivers with a touchdown run.
Now now Cade York for the extra point.
It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
On the return is Xavier Gibson. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. He might take this all the way. He will take this all the way. Touchdown, Jets. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him. Kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. Now Zuerlein on to add the extra point. It's up and good, and it's 14-7 now here in the first quarter. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. The Jets with the football here to start the second quarter, as they've got it as we resume action. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The New Orleans offense set to take over. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. The ball on the 32, it's 2nd and 2. And Spears with another carry.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here.
2 yards, good enough for a first.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up 3rd.
Well, someone is certainly having a big game, and while that sack doesn't quite have the splash of his pick six from earlier, you know he's thrilled to be making big plays during a great individual effort today.
This offense so far on 3rd down, a perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This will be 3rd and a mile.
He lets it go deep for Olave. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
And that is not what you expect from a receiver of his caliber. Sometimes you get a little ahead of yourself. You don't look it in, and all of a sudden it's on the ground. A surprise to all.
He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. 46 yards on the boot. The coverage holds him to just 3 on the return.
And the Jets will take over.
So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by the former Cal Bear, Aaron Rodgers.
Okay, I'm not taking a turn to negative town, even though it's going to sound like it. The 2 interceptions he threw last week, those obviously have to be eliminated, and that was the focus of practice this week. But let's face it, he did throw 3 touchdown passes.
And they got the win.
So I think it was a good week for him to work on things. Had some positives. The win being first and foremost. Now he's just got to eliminate those interceptions.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
This offense, Charles, we've talked about how well they played all season. Sitting now at 13-0 and a finish line for a perfect regular season. That's in sight. Some in the media this week were pointing back to the 07 Patriots. Of course, remember, they finished the regular season unbeaten, but they were tested multiple times in that final month plus.
Yeah, with something like 4 of their last 6 wins were one-possession games, and they played like a team that was trying to protect something instead of chasing something. And that's what happens when you have an undefeated record. So it behooves you as a team, get a couple blowouts in there so you get a chance to relax and breathe. But that's much easier said than done.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds.
Rodgers going to get this complete to his running back Hall.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A Jet first down, 18 big yards that time.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
They fake the give. Now Rodgers. And it's caught. Touchdown. Tyler Conklin. His 4th touchdown on the year.
And the Jets go up by 2 touchdowns.
For good reason, quarterbacks want to get the ball to the perimeter to their wide receivers for big plays. But in this situation, it felt like based on coverage, he knew that he wanted his tight end to have the football, and for good reason.
Zerline now for the PAT. It's good, and it is now 21-7. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it's finished off by a New York Jets touchdown. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick.
This taken in at the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20.
Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again.
That one's taken in by Spears.
Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw.
And it is caught. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
That's taken in by Dulcich.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. So 8 yards on the completion there, and they'll be left with 2nd and a couple. back to throw again. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Well, touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
Here's Ethan Evans now.
This is taken at the 23. It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10.
The Jets going to take over now late in this first half. Already enjoying a 2-score lead here late in the second quarter. Not a ton of time left. We'll see if they can work this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 to add on even more to their lead.
On play action, it's Rodgers. And able to find Allen Lazard. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And quickly, they get to the line.
Out of the gun, they run it with Hall.
And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1.
This 2nd and 4.
Play action. Now it's Rodgers.
And that's going to be incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap. He locked in on his target, and he was covered quite well. And that one's incomplete.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Oh, a design run for their wideout. He juked him. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. On play action, Rodgers. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
Zerline's kick is up and through, and that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Jets on top. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll get started up at Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati, where you see the final score there. Joe Burrow leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. From there, we head over to the West Coast. Check out the Niners at home at Levi Stadium. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Dallas Cowboys. Deebo Samuel, a touchdown reception. Lastly, let's check in on our nation's capital to see what's happening with the Washington Commanders at home at FedEx Field. And things didn't work out so well as they fall to the visiting New England Patriots. Ramondre Stevenson, an afternoon to remember. 4 touchdown runs. This was an extremely one-sided first half. One team showed up ready to go. The other's been in a daze thus far, but there's still plenty of time left for this one to tighten up significantly. Both teams going through their final halftime adjustments. We're about ready to get back to football. And to bring you the second half from the Superdome, let's go back to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. And the Jets set to receive this third quarter kickoff, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in the second half. Xavier Gipson now from his end zone. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. Here's the Jets offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. Rodgers and the Jets now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. On play action, they'll throw. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the first down. And don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
Now this throw caught left side. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 22 yards there, a first down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Rodgers now on first down. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it's second down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch, I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
All again on second down. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Just a couple on the ground there. That's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
Brandon, you're a big lover of music. How about what you just saw there? This is what I call playing the piano for a defensive lineman. The ability to move laterally up and down the line of scrimmage. How about the way he just flowed and got to the outside part of the field and made that play?
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. They'll set up the screen for Hall. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. A short gain there of just 4, and that'll bring up a 4th down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. And they'll find the open man. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They're able to keep the drive alive. 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. So they convert on 4th, and now from just outside the 30, here's 1st and 10. Back to the ground with Hall. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
He's got his target. That's complete. He'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
A lot of deflated looks on that defense. It seems like they just cannot find a way to get a key stop on 3rd down. Here's another conversion, and now this offense, they're in a position to go up even further as they've got it 1st and goal.
with Hall.
And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
And now defensively, you have to look at this like the game's on the line. It's just the third quarter, but another touchdown given up here. Spell an end to their chances, so they need to toughen up and keep them out of the end zone.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on second and goal here. Now Rodgers on the bootleg. This will be caught at about the 5. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds right at the 3. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a third and goal situation. Oh, how about this call down near the goal line? And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
So Rodgers will depart, and on is Greg Zuerlein for the Jets field goal.
From the left hash, a chip shot here. Zuerlein's kick is up and through, and that will finish off this third quarter of play. We're off to the fourth quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here live in New Orleans, where the fourth quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the third quarter. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The New Orleans offense back out and ready to go. Facing a big fourth quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense has really struggled. They'll come out throwing here on first down. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Hassan Reddick in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
You can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Now a first carry for their fullback. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Call it a pickup of 7, and it's going to be third down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14.
I heard all the stories. I watched some of the tape of the old school guys, the throwback guys who were the punishing runners and knocked people aside to pick up yardage. I'm so glad I was sitting here today and got to see it with my own eyes.
A throw over the middle taken in, and he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. They'll look to throw now on first down. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it. Now a 2nd and 10. Back to throw here. Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete. Now, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A great pickup there, 35 yards, and obviously the first down to go along with it. Again, he'll drop to throw.
Throwing for the out route, he finds Wilson.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. And between the last two plays, they've moved it over half the length of the football field.
And here's a give to Spears.
He's dropped just inside the 20. A little second effort there, but couldn't find a whole lot of space.
2nd and 9 now.
He's got it. Touchdown, Saints. An 18-yard touchdown grab.
And the Saints have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Well, they needed 3 scores to have any chance. There's the first of the 3 as they get into the end zone.
Yeah, Brandon, I think that our guys at Next Gen Stats in charge of the win probability are probably saying your chances still aren't great. But now you still got more than 3 minutes to go. You got to focus on the task at hand, which is going to be getting the football back as quickly as possible.
Extra point by York is up and good.
And that cuts this lead down to 13. Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Jets have got it. The risk reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling. And whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things, now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Jet first down. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it, and they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for 2nd down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
Got a man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jets. A great play there. A touchdown on a kick return, and now one through the air.
And the Jets add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Another touchdown here in the 4th quarter, and Charles, I think we can start to consider that this undefeated streak of theirs is going to be safe for another week.
And partner, you don't make it this far into a season without a loss unless you're getting contributions from both sides of the ball, and sometimes even your special teams. And that's been true today. Each side helping guide them to this late lead.
Rodgers will throw for it. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th.
And a stoppage here. We're going to need to take a moment as a Jet was shaken up on that one. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick.
This fielded right at the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19.
The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score.
From the 24 now, here's 2nd and 5.
They'll look to throw here. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
They'll set up to throw.
Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete. Now a timeout here, at least for the moment. Looks like one of the Saints is injured, shaken up on that last play. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. They'll look to throw again.
That's Olave bringing in another one.
And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Back to throw again. Got a man here. It's Wilson. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And it's intercepted at the goal line.
And the Jets are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line.
CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
The Jets offense now works their way back onto the field.
And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they gave up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on 1st down. That's what they talk about to us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
Rodgers throwing here.
He's got this to Williams, complete.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. So it's a victory here for the New York Jets. And we talk so much about the turnover battle determining who wins and who loses. This game, no exception. They didn't turn the ball over at all, and they go on to victory.
They look like a smooth operation in this one, didn't they? Because you look at every facet of the game, they handled their business. Offense took care of the football, converted it into points. Defense took the ball away, gave it back to the offense. Special teams, right there with them. That's the type of game a coach is going to really love and value. And when they show the film, they have to be careful not to give out too many kudos and kill their motivation going forward.
So for the Jets, they move ever closer to the perfect regular season as they run things to 14-0. And they'll have another road date next week with the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for the Saints, they've plummeted now to 3-11. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Washington. I'm Brandon Gaudin, certainly.